After watching last night, do you have any doubts about thinking they are the only team in the West that could really give a Heat a run?
Yeah. Listen, I don't believe there's anybody else that can give them the run because I think that Oklahoma City can beat everybody in the West. I think they're justifiably the favorite in the West. I just think they're tailor-made for Miami, and that's what I don't like. Whereas the Clippers, because of the athleticism on their front line combined with the floor generalship of a Chris Paul, I think would be more formidable for Miami. But that doesn't mean that the Clippers are the best team, and it doesn't mean that they're playing the best basketball. And last night was the latest example. Now, I understand. Chris Paul, 4 of 11 shooting, just 8 points, got to play better. Sure. Superstars don't do that come playoff time. Chris Paul can play better. I believe he will play better. But, damn it, last night he did it. Let's just get that out the way. Where I'm really disgusted, where I'm really annoyed, is with Blake Griffin.
You see that?
Blake Griffin.
How many rebounds?
Forget the 16 points. Forget all of that stuff. I mean, what is this right here? 2 rebounds? Two? Let me tell you something.
He was tired.
Forget all of that. No. No.
Rough.
I'm going to tell you something. A man that I've known for years, because he played in New York a while back, Zach Randolph is a baller. Zach Randolph, first of all, he's incredibly nicer than people realize, even though he can get rough, as Kendrick Perkins and both him and them, those two tussling with each other can verify, because they're both tough.
You and I saw him on South Beach one night. Remember that?
Yeah, we did. I mean, yes, we did.
Oh,
yes,
really?
he did. And he's a big teddy bear. He really is, until you mess with him. Okay. Until you mess with him. Zach Randolph can ball.
He will attack some glass.
And he is a, for those of you who don't understand, go back to the tapes from the 70s, he's a Willis Reed type dude. Doesn't have tremendous athleticism, just magnificent use of his body. Knows what to do. A lefty and can just abuse you. But still in all, Blake Griffin had no reason getting abused like this. This was disgraceful. It was embarrassing. Blake Griffin should have took a long shower after last night's game. Just stayed in there about an extra hour to contemplate how he got beat up last night. I'm just sitting there, you're 6'10", you're a big boy, you're about 260, you're strong. He did not get beat yesterday. He got beat down last night. Look at some of the rebounds Zach Randolph was getting. Look at the way he was just moving him aside. Blake Griffin might as well have had me in the post. I mean, that's how easily he was being moved. Yep. I couldn't believe it. I'm sitting there like, I know Zach Randolph is a big boy. I know he's strong. But I'm not 260. You understand? I don't have those muscles like Blake Griffin does. There is no way on earth that Zach Randolph should have been moving him that way. And if that continues to happen, the Clippers will lose this series. Yep. Now, I believe in Blake Griffin. And I don't believe that's going to happen. I just don't think that the Memphis Grizzlies are deep enough. They play exceptional defense. I'm really happy that Marc Gasol won the award, even though I don't think he deserved it. Yep. LeBron James, but he's such an incredibly nice guy. It was good to see the crowd cheering for him and him hosting that trophy for one of my good friends, Dikembe Mutombo. But let me tell you something. Blake Griffin got abused last night. I'm talking about abuse. This kind of beat down, like if it were a fight, your woman will leave and say, I really need to stay away from you right there, because it's kind of embarrassing what happened.
One like a Pacquiao.
It was one of those. It was one of those, Skip.
She stays.
It was one of those.
She's not leaving.
It was one of those. Very upset at Blake Griffin.
I like your basketball point. You are our president of basketball operations on this show.
Thank you so much.
I like your basketball point that the Clippers would be a tougher matchup, especially on paper, for the Miami Heat. I get that. They're not going to get to the Miami Heat. I'm not buying because I can't trust them. This is a weird basketball team with questionable basketball character that comes and goes on a nightly basis. Right now, Jekyll and Hyde has returned to Broadway, and it is also playing simultaneously at Staples Center because this is the ultimate Jekyll Hyde team. And last night was also about Chris Paul. You talked heavily about Blake, and he deserves it because they got annihilated on the backboards. It was 45-33. Worse, it was 17 offensive rebounds to 5. So Zach got 6 offensive rebounds because he was just out hustling Blake for the basketball many times. He just wanted it worse than Blake.
Moving him, Skip.
He was moving him. Okay, Chris Paul, fourth quarter, does not score a point.
No.
Chris Paul got taken out of the game, and lost his composure thanks to our friend Tony Allen, who took him much of the fourth quarter. And Stephen A. took him out of the game.
Listen, Tony Allen is a friend of this show.
Yes, he is.
Tony Allen is listen, this dude can play some defense.
Oh, can he play
Tony Allen can play some defense.
Woo. And Chris lost his cool. And Chris had 4 fouls in the fourth quarter, and the last 3 were just flat-out frustration fouls. And once he starts to unravel, his team, as you know, it unravels because
he calls him the floor general.
Oh, is he? The floor general. Yeah. He's a 5-star floor general.
That's right.
You can't lose your composure like that in a game that was still winnable in the fourth quarter. So, Stephen A., for the game, for the whole game, Chris Paul winds up with 5 turnovers to 4 assists.
That's right.
No good.
No.
4 field goals. No good. It's not enough. So, will he bounce back and have a Chris Paul game? You know, I laugh about it, but Cliff Paul, Chris Paul, I don't know. Which one is it? Because you need Chris Paul every night if they're going to survive this series, because the other team is really tough-minded.
Allow me to say this. Chris Paul's effort was unacceptable, plain and simple. But not for the reasons, I should say, just for the reasons you articulated. The biggest reason it's not acceptable is because if Chris Paul isn't careful, even if you get by this series, you've given other teams the ingredient for success.
Yep.
If I am, let's see, Oklahoma City, right? Russell Westbrook is about Tony Allen's height. That's a problem. If I could harass Chris Paul and get him rattled and show that, that's a problem. Because I see the residual effect that it has.
It has.
If you're lucky enough to get to the finals, Dwayne Wade's about Tony Allen's height. And let's just say, for the sake of argument, that Dwayne Wade, for some reason, is not as healthy. And I'm not sure because I haven't paid any attention on the Miami-Milwaukee series. I mean, please, let's go to the second round. We knew what was going to happen with that series, regardless of what Brandon Jennings had to say. We love Brandon Jennings, but
Not
Lord,
in 6.
I mean, the broomsticks were out before the series began. Okay, here's the deal. What if LeBron said, "I got,"
which he might.
You see what I'm saying? Because here's the problem. It's one thing to lock down CP3. It's another thing to rattle him to the point where you can see that it's affecting everybody around them because they don't know what to do without him. See, but the reason I have faith in the Clippers is because of my man JC, Jamal Crawford. This dude don't need CP3.
Yep.
Give him the ball, he'll boogie on it.
Stephen A., is Memphis that good,
so by the way, last night he went 3 for 10, and that hurts.
Stephen A., but maybe Memphis is that good.
Memphis is that good defensively. They are talented. They're exceptionally well coached by Lionel Hollins, who does not get nearly as much credit as he deserves.
Well coached.
The issue is that they don't really have a closer offensively.
They don't. Okay. They don't really have a superstar.
They don't have a superstar.
You need one to advance.
So I just tend, come playoff time, show me a team with a superstar, I'm going to show you a team with an edge.
Sure.
Yep.
And when it comes to the Clippers, the point is, you've got guys. Jamal Crawford, for example, he's no superstar, and he's very streaky. But if he gets hot, it don't matter.
It's over.
It don't matter.
Okay.
It don't matter.
It is a wrap, like this topic.